Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Mancunian Way. I'm your host, and now Patrick. Martin, please excuse him, guys. He's just going to be away for 10 minutes or so, just so I get some stuff sorted out. He will be with us shortly. And joining me, a couple of usual suspects. Firstly, Ozzy, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm good. Pat, yourself?
Yeah, doing all right. Thanks, mate. Still feeling good after that result yesterday, I must say. Yeah, happy days. But I would say happy days, but Alan's in the building too. How are you, mate? You muted, Sunshine.
Yeah.
You're muted. Best opinion you've had in a long time.
Definitely.
No, mate.
I think it's just so much better.
Yeah. You still tuned into your fortnight, mate.
Can you hear me now?
There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
I was out with one of your friends last night, Patrick.
Oh, really now?
I was having dinner with him. Yeah, it was Spencer, Mr. Pryor. He was in Melbourne town.
Right. He's down in Melbourne.
He said
is he?
He's heading back at 3:00 this afternoon on Qantas and wants an upgrade.
I expect the inevitable text message later on. Then, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a text later.
If you can't get the upgrade, you want the lounge pass. So yeah, we'll see what we can do anyway. But yeah. Guys, yeah, let's have a look and see who's in the building. Martin's in the background posting the comments. So thank you, mate. You're good for that. FIFA's in the building. Mingyu Wong, good to see you, mate. Mark Lundy's in the building. Benny, Jack Lee, hope you're well, mate. I'm sure you'll be going to the game on the weekend. Don't forget to, obviously, if you guys can donate to the crowdfunding for young Maisie as well, too, that would be fantastic. Obviously, tragic what happened to her, you know. And big up to Andy Savage as well, too, for all the work he's done getting her situation, you know, getting the exposure out there. Of course, anybody going to the game, remember 14 minutes, the crowd will be doing a round of applause for her as well too. So yeah, forever in our hearts, young Maisie as well too. It's absolutely terrible just what's happened to her, and we can only deepest condolences obviously to her and her extended family and everything. So yeah, guys, anyway, it's never nice, is it? But that's
no.
Yeah. Who else we got in tonight? We got Dash is in. Good to see you, mate. Good stuff. Harry's in. Harry Sharman's in the building. F.U. Wafer's in. Good to see you again, mate. Hope you're well. Rosemary's in. Good to see you. Connor Rigby's in. DC. Hope you're well, sweetheart. Good to see you. Brandon Masters is in. Good stuff. Good stuff. A lot of usual suspects in as always. Good to have you here on a Thursday night, Friday morning where I am. Yep. Anybody out there too, if you haven't liked and subscribed, of course, don't forget to do that as well too. Helps the channel a lot. We are well on our way to 5K as well too, guys. So big up. And Belly coming with more memberships as well too. He's gifted one. I believe that's gone to Noah Khalifa. So big up yourself, mate. Thank you very much again for that.
That's fine.
I don't have this thing, so I'm just going to say more than you'll believe. More than you'll believe, I'm happy.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Told you it was only temporary. Anyway, look, I guess while we're waiting, we'll just quickly dabble into the first topic. And I know you guys were kind of on the side of thinking like, well, this has been pretty much the, outstanding topic for the best part of over a week, basically, ever since the rumors circulated about Pep and, the news about Cheeky leaving as well. But while we're killing a little bit of time, I just think, let's talk about it because it looks likely that Pep's going to do one more year and get to the 10 and go from there. But Alan, I'll get you to kick us off, mate. I mean, you're just happy, just Pep staying as long as you can, anyway. So, but I want to get your thoughts. Like, if you get the 10 and done, mate, are you okay with it? You happy?
No. Listen, I'm happy with him staying. I want him to stay. So let's get that clear, okay? I'm not happy with just 1 year. I'd rather have 2. I think if you had 2, you could still leave after if you wanted to. But the reason why 1 year is he's telling everybody in the league and everybody in the world that he's leaving, and mainly he's telling the players that he's leaving and the staff that he's leaving and everybody else that he's leaving. Which I want to avoid because I know it's like when your boss suddenly turns around and says, right, I'm going, the attitude of the staff underneath that has been very different. So that is the only reason why I prefer for him to say 2 years or 3 years, not just 1. And that, I think that's fair. I want him to stay, of course I do. I'll be daft if not, but I'm a bit uneasy about 1 year, I'll be honest with you.
In your mind, is there any good way he can go out? This is a question I'm going to ask you for a couple of weeks, to be honest. So,
well, there's never an easy way, but if he can win the Champions League again, that would be fantastic. But I can't see it without. It's going to be very difficult without our main player, Rodri, in the team, and Kevin De Bruyne is always injured. We're going to fight. We've struggled without those two in the last few weeks, apart from the other night. So we'll just have to wait and see. Don't get me wrong. I want him to stay, and I do want him to stay. Why wouldn't you? But I've heard nothing from him saying either way. To be fair, what he's doing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's only rumour mill at the moment.
Of course. Morning, Rich. How are you, mate?
Morning. Not too bad. No,
hey, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
Howdy.
Oh, good stuff. Oz, where are you, mate?
Yeah, kind of getting on to your kind of second question, is there an easy kind of way of transitioning? As Alan alluded, I think Pep going out on a high, again, winning the Champions League would be a big one. I mean, the Premier League, obviously, is not a given, but, it feels that it would be a special just to kind of him to kind of leave with the Champions League under his belt again for City would just be another remarkable achievement. But I think there's no easy way, if we're honest, because I think it's either going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to be extremely difficult for his successor to come in and even half replicate what Pep has done. Or, it goes the way that Liverpool have done it, where they find the right successor comes in and it's an easy transition. But it's finding that person. Now, there's several names being banded around at the moment about who could possibly come in. Is it that the club and Pep are thinking a year because then that manager is going to be ready to come in? Because only if he signs for 2, I appreciate where you're coming from. He was signed 2 years, but to that manager, it looks like, well, Is he staying another 2 years? It's reassurances, isn't it, that people want. I don't think either side are going to get it. I think it's just going to be a year or it's just a messy transition.
Well, the thing that worries me, Ozzy, also, I didn't mention it, was if we're going out on a big, very massive, big summer spend, it'll be a lot easier to sign players if Pep is planned to stay for 2 years rather than 1 year to sign the players that we want. Because if I'm a world superstar player and I say, "Are you staying, Pep?" and he says, "No, I'm going," then I won't. It doesn't really persuade them for me.
Well, I think we have to go to the point of as far as we're concerned, we're a big club enough now just for the pull alone for players want to play for us, regardless of who the manager is. Now, I know that's a hard one to swallow because it's Pep Guardiola, the best manager in the world.
Exactly.
But I think players who are going to be coming in, regardless if it's this summer or the summer after, they know he's going to be leaving. Do you know what I mean? That's going to be already on the cards in some respects. So
we've seen it happen with Pellegrini. What happened when he was leaving at the end of the season? The players, I don't say down tools, but there wasn't the same energy, and we all knew that.
Yeah, but Alan, I think it's a little different. I don't think we're in a Pellegrini situation. I don't think we're in a Klopp situation either. I think with Pellegrini, I think it was on the cards for a little while. With Klopp, it came out of the blue, for the players. And I just think, this has been kind of hinted at for a little while. I think the club are normally meticulous when it comes to planning how they're going to kind of do things. And with this, I think they've already got a plan in place. I think they know what they're doing. And I think when it comes to summer signings, it's money that normally brings in players. It's normally success that brings in the players. So I don't think it ultimately matters who the manager is in some respects. I think it has to be a decent manager, but I ultimately think it's the players want to come for the club and the trophies and the success that comes along with being and playing for Manchester City.
Rich?
I've said it before. I think once you get on a final countdown, there's trouble. I just don't understand why City can't give a 2-year contract with a 1-year break. That Pep can go exactly when he wants, but officially it can be a 2-year contract, and even pay him a couple of million extra for the honour of doing it. Because I just think as soon as it's public, and I accept the arguments last week that Klopp wasn't meant to be known about till 4 or 5 months later, and media got hold of it through the players and said they'd release it. But I just think as soon as a manager is on the way out, whoever it is, there are perhaps exceptions. I think it's fair to say Ferguson had a big last season and Pep didn't see a down tools at Bayern, even though it was known. But I think generally it just creates a distraction. If a player's, a little bit unhappy, they're going to throw their toys out the pram a lot more. So it's not ideal. But, Pep, any long-serving manager going is not ideal. When they're the best manager in the world, it's doubly not ideal. So, we've just got to do it the best way we can. I've said before, I prefer a 2-year contract. I'd prefer Pep to pretty much announce to the world on the day he's going. Obviously not to Khaldoon and Soriano. You'd want the key people to know and have someone lined up. But the less time you have, even if you're planning behind the scenes, the better, because it will be a distraction. It will cause problems and it will cause some kind of drop off in the team. But we've got ourselves in a position now where, if you look at the favourite team, Pep picks all the time. We've got a midfield, the heart of the team, the heart of all our success for the whole of Pep's time. And in fact, going back to Mancini and Pellegrini, it's been our midfield, and it's probably, I think, facing its biggest crisis in some ways in that time. Not today, but soon because of the aging, and we are starting to see a very one-paced midfield. And
totally agree with you, Rich.
And so do we want a football director, half our best players, the manager, and everyone going in one season? No. So we've got to, accept that, Pep probably staying another year and helping start that transition is what we need. But there's no City fans who don't want Pep to be our manager. And we have kind of talked it to death a bit, because I think we probably spent about an hour and a half on this last week. But we want Pep to stay, but we don't want the disruption, and unfortunately, that's not easy.
Rich, is there a good way for him to go out? One that you would see the majority of the fan base be like, almost being let down nice, being let down lightly. It's not a harsh reality.
I think he goes out after beating United 10-0 at Old Trafford and just drops the microphone in the interview after the game and says, "That's it. I've completed football. I'm off." I mean, to me, it's got to be sudden and dramatic, at least to the public, and to the club behind it, it's got to be planned, choreographed, and executed perfectly. But I reckon a mic drop after, Phil and Erling have just got 5 goals each at Old Trafford. That would do me.
That's an ideal world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Evening, Martin.
Evening. Sorry I was late, everyone. We're just dealing with some family stuff. I've been listening on the way home. I understand people think we've done this thing to death, but there was updates in the week. I got updates in the week. I find it weird how some people believe what some things are saying and then don't believe what other things are saying. Weird that. We're suddenly choosing what we want to believe and what we don't want to believe now to suit our little narratives, which is fun. The simple fact is, I can only say that the reason we did this, and it wasn't going to be a short opening topic, we'll come to the other bit, and we'll talk about it a bit more next week. And the squad, because I have an idea for next Thursday, which is going to be a big show. Because I do think Rich is right. We did a 5-hour space on it last night, and everyone went into meltdown and didn't know what to do. But our squad needs quite a big revamp, and we're basically sleepwalking into a situation at the moment that many aren't noticing. In 2026, there's up to 11 players in the mid-30s.
One of the oldest squads, Martin.
Yeah, this is something we'll talk about. It's going to be a big show next week. We're going to go through it. But anyway, the thing was, Ornstein come out and said the likelihood that he's going to stay due to 10 years. That was the info I got. I think Tone had the same info. It is what it is. There isn't an easy way of Pep going. If Pep doesn't, I've heard what Rich and Alan want to say, and that's fine. That's their opinion. But the one thing that's missing all this is what Pep wants to do. Pep doesn't want to do 2 years. You can't make him do 2 years. But the other side of the coin is, if they've got an eye on a manager and he's available, say, 2026, well, that's where you have to go to.
Who's to say between now and 2026 he doesn't get offered somewhere else if they've got to plan this manager?
He might not do, but did Pep Guardiola go anywhere else, Alan?
No, but that's not the point. If, let's say Man United become a vacancy and they
because City's bigger than Man United in terms of right now. We're not bigger as a football team, but we're a far better project than Man United, Alan. If you're worrying about Man United, seriously, come on, give your head a wobble, sunshine. If you're worried about a manager taking over United over,
I think Alan's point is saying to a manager, but no, Martin. I think what Alan's saying is there are managers who would take Manchester United today rather than the possibility, which may or may not happen, of City's job in 2 years' time.
No, hang on. Yeah. On that, Rich, I hear what you're saying, but you're all presuming City don't have the plan already in motion.
No, I think we presume they do, but I think we presume that Pep may or may not change his mind.
What, change his mind as in staying extra year or staying extra beyond a year?
Well, he might. I still think he could stay 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. I mean, you just don't know. Pep's his own character. You know, if Oscar Bob came through and became some sort of, you know, the best young kid in the world and blew into the team, he might think, I fancy another year of that. But, you know, equally, he might find we go through a really horrible December, January, and February and think, this is crap, I'm going. And
it won't. It'll already be announced by then, Rich. And I know this. What my thing is, you're looking at worst case scenario.
Yeah, and like a couple of years ago, when we were kind of having this topic of conversation where Pep's contract was coming to an end, and we were having this contract talk about, you know, who could City look at replacing him with, and I think, you know, there were some people calling for Ten Hag, and look what happened with that. You know, Pep stayed, Ten Hag went to United. And I think we're all pretty glad we dodged that bullet. You know, but what I'm saying is that you can't guarantee on any success with any manager. You know, I think it is, you have a plan, which is what City will have. You know, Sirianni and Cheeky will all have a plan of what they want to do and who they want to bring in. But if Pep turns around and goes, actually, I want to stay longer than just a year, then great for us. But then we have to think about a succession plan in another 2 year time, possibly. And that manager, whoever that will be. I think that's all you can do, Rich.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of panic here going on with some. And I get it. I did get it.
No, I don't think it's panic at all. It's just
what you want, Rich, is not
accepting the reality.
It's not going to happen.
How do you know it's not going to happen?
But I want Silky.
Don't announce it on air, Alan.
No, all I'm saying to you,
Martin has no faith that we're going to beat. Martin just doesn't believe we're going to score 10 at Old Trafford.
No, it's not about that. It's not about that, Alan. See, but this is what I mean. Alan, you're one who chooses what to believe and when you believe it.
At the moment, the tail is wagging the dog at the moment.
Yeah, right, okay then, Alan. Alan, I'm not being funny, mate. You want Mancini back?
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no.
Anyway.
You never go back to an ex, Alan.
I know.
Alan, you want company? I smacked last night.
All right, okay. Still top of that Bundesliga, don't he?
Right, okay, lad.
You'd have Mr. Ellison back in a heartbeat.
Anyway, right, we're going to move on because we're not going to go on in circles. Alan and Rich are going to have the bottom lip out for the next 18 months, which will be fun to watch. Can't wait to watch that for the next 18 months with the bottom lip rolling out.
Martin, as someone who wants us back in the Championship, there's no danger of that, so I won't worry about
that. That's going to fill my time up in the comments after the show, Rich. Thanks for that lovely comment.
That wasn't me that said that. That wasn't me.
I'm going to fill my time in the comments when everyone's going, who's this deluded Rich? Well, why is Rich so deluded? Why'd you have him on? Blah, blah, blah. I can just read them now. Anyway, right. At the end of the day, that's the state of play at the moment. I think you'll know by end of November at the very latest whether Pep's here or not. The information I haven't, it's the only information I can give you is the deal is agreed but not signed. And you can choose to believe, you can choose not to believe, whatever anybody wants. That is up to you. But Pep has stated he is closer to going than he is staying. And fans need to come to terms with that very quickly. Very, very quickly. And some are struggling to come to terms with Pep Guardiola leaving the football club. But the one thing I will always say is we have the best board, the best chairman, the best chief exec, the best everything. Ignore my son in the background. Play. Yes.
I wonder what that was.
I was trying to quickly skip over that bit. So, yeah, I trust them. If they bring a chief exec in 2 hours after the former chief exec is going, and they're bringing him in 6 months earlier, tells me they know what they're doing. Won't be a Klopp situation with me. Won't be anywhere near a Pellegrini situation. Alan, to your point of players, Haaland's going to sign a new extension, which has come out today as well. Funny that one, because Haaland's going to stay longer than Pep is, so clearly he's here for a bit more than just Pep, mate.
Well, has he signed his contract? No.
No, but
he's got you there, Martin.
Yeah, it's agreed.
Well, I think the reality with
Haaland means nothing till he signs, pal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
All that matters with Haaland's contract is what his release clause is, because he could give us a 20-year extension, but if he puts in a release clause that's, less than 150 million, it's,
Welcome to the miserable way. What I'm going to do is we're going to go away and you can have the miserable way for 5 minutes.
Yeah. What matters is Haaland's. What matters is like Haaland.
It's true. You are right.
It keeps control. So all that matters is what that release clause is, and if he wants to be at sea, he could have 6 months left on his contract and he'll stay. And if he wants to leave, if that release clause is there, he can go at any time. So I just hope that we push that release clause as high as possible, so that we don't make it easy for someone to come and get him.
I think if he wants to put 100 million down, which, let's face it, anyone in the top 10,
less, that's less than he's worth. You get, Darwin Núñez type players.
Where have you got that price from, Alan? Put that out of Sky.
Yeah, Sky TV.
Yeah, no, I think we have to have a world record.
It's a lot more.
We have to have.
It's a lot more than 100 million.
It has to have a 2 in front of it. That's for sure. As an
it's more than 100 million right now, Alan.
All right.
Anyway, right, I'm going to swap this around because the 2 negative Nellies can go on the bottom. This is the man who had to go at fans in Manchester last night while he sat on his couch. Anyway.
A lot of other City fans sat on the couches at home as well.
Yeah. I bet they're there on Saturday, though. Unlike you, Alan.
Yeah.
Alan, I have no problem with people having opinions, but people who don't go to games shouldn't comment on people who go to games. That's hypocrisy, mate. Oh, what's happened there? What happened there? Oh, dear. Well, Alan's not happy, but clearly. Can I just say, we'll move on to, because I want to talk about a comment that came out last night, and it was specifically aimed on a tweet we're going to talk about in a minute. JSNZ said the Prague fans were amazing last night. They were. I tell you what, I couldn't jump up and down like that for an hour and a half. My back had hurt jumping up and down for an hour and a half like that. So big up to the Sparta Pragues last night. They were amazing. Sparta Prague fans, big up yourself. Did your club very proud last night?
You couldn't jump up and down for 90 minutes yet. You try to tell everyone you could do Haaland's back heel.
No, could. But being Bella has gifted 3 Mancunian Way, 4 Mancunian Way memberships. So he's gifted 5 tonight. Thank you so much, mate. Your kind generosity.
I'm waiting this.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Someone's put a bit of a strop. Alan's on a strop. Alan had a moment. He's got a strop.
Do you reckon between the 5 of us, we could, if you added our high kicks all together, we could get between 5 of us to as high as Haaland? I reckon it'd be close.
I could do it easy on my own. I need a step ladder, but I could do it.
Yeah. You need to jump out the first floor window.
Right, let's get into it.
Like start off the roof of your car.
Right, let's get into it. And I promise you, we're going to put the Pep stuff to bed now till there's more of an update. Promise you that. But honestly, watch for next Thursday because we're literally going to strategically pull the squad apart. And we're literally going to look at this because I'm going to sit down with all the lads and we're going to get this done properly because next week I want to do a show because honestly, when you look at the squad and look at the contracts, you start wondering what could happen when this, because otherwise, if we all go together, there's going to be 11 players going out the door all at the same time, and we can't do that. So it's got to be very strategically planned. What we're going to do is put ourselves in the Chica Hugo Viana shoes next week. And that was by loads. I did a massive space last night. Everyone's asked for it. So I said, fine, we'll do it. And that will just be the full show next week.
So, and
it's going to take 2 hours to get that done. Trust me.
What assumptions are we going to make on PSR? Is Nick DeMarco going to win and PSR's illegal? So we've got.
No, we're not doing the PSR stuff. We're doing it.
No. But I'm talking when you have a squad.
He loves Martin.
We could be spending $2 billion because
we are coming to that. That's going to be next week's show. That's exactly next week's show. I promise you. Next
so
week,
unlimited funds.
On that.
Unlimited funds.
No, we're going to look
Chelsea then, Rich.
What they could. Yeah. But anyway, right. Last night, I've just put it as a topic. Is Pep being too conservative? Because there is a few fans who are very unhappy with our style of football at the moment. Not everyone, some are. To a point where there was a tweet last night. I will not put it up on screen because I'm not going to have an argument with them. It's their opinion. They're allowed to. They paid the money. They're allowed to leave if they want to. But they walked out at half time saying it was boring and they'd rather have City 90s back than what they're watching right now. City's 90s back than what they're watching now because it's a bit boring.
Which part of the night is when we're really exciting under Horton?
Well, I don't know. We didn't go into that type of thing.
If we could get like Peter Beagrie and Walsh and Rossler back, brilliant.
I want to start with you, Rich.
Only topic that I've seen Rich perk up that much.
You agree with this, Rich, in a little bit?
Yeah.
Read some of your comments. Are we playing boring football right now? And would you rather us lose and watch exciting football?
Yeah. So I don't know that we're playing boring football. I think our opponents are making boring games, and I do think when you have a game with 800 passes, but 400 of those are by your defenders and they're basically from left to right around the box, it does get a bit tedious. And was it the fourth goal yesterday where like 4, 5, 6 one-touch passes from one end of the pitch to the other? Haaland's second, absolutely beautiful, and it was a stunning goal. So anyone left at halftime yesterday actually missed a second half that had some great moments in it. But my thing at the moment is that we seem to pick a very conservative team, and if you're playing against 2 banks of 5, we seem to be picking a team, and Pep's attitude seems to be, I just want to be solid and try not to concede, rather than I want to have some mad stuff going on and have a go. And it's just struck me that Kovacic, Bernardo, and I'm Bernardo's number 1 fan, and Gundo just did not have the energy, the pace, the youth, the creativity, or anything to really, as a midfield, unlock 2 banks of 5, and that we can't. That's just Pep's ultra safe midfield. The 3 midfielders he probably trusts the most, playing in the middle because he thinks they're not going to make a mistake. But I just don't think they have the tracking back, the pressing energy, the creativity, the physicality. And I think in big games against big teams, we've got to get some more energy in. And I saw that with Núñez yesterday. He would at times be the second man tracking back when the team was on the break. He would dribble with the ball. He actually offered something different. So I think, McAtee could. I think, Phil clearly can. And I think for me, it's just, let's just be a bit braver in midfield. And, if you're worried about defense, then don't play Guardiola and Lewis in the same game, play Ake and Lewis, or play Guardiola and Akanji as fullbacks. So you've got that bit more solidity in defence. But pick Foden or pick Nunes, pick some energy in that midfield. Rotate, Guardiola, Bernardo and Kovacic, so that, sometimes two of them may play, but not three in midfield in the same game. It's just too conservative. And we are going to have games like Wolves where we're not going to win against a vastly, vastly inferior opposition. And I say this not out of disrespect to Wolves or some of the teams in the Premier League, but Real Madrid, I might understand a really conservative lineup, but we've been pretty conservative against some teams not that great. We're still conceding goals on the break, so the conservatism isn't stopping us concede, but it is stopping us create really, really good chances. So just, Pep, be a little braver. I'd rather we win, 4 or 5 games, a little bit more convincingly, even if it costs us one game, because I think otherwise we're going to draw games and we're going to lose games that we should be winning.
Well, Darsh agrees with you. Yeah, the opposition's playing the low block, but Pep constrains the players' abilities way too much and doesn't give them the freedom. Yes, control is needed, but I'm bored sideways passing all the time. Now, I respectfully disagree with Dash. Because someone back says, I know why. To me, I'm okay with sideways passing because they're always trying to draw the opposition out the low block.
Correct. You're spot on, Martin, on that one.
What he's trying to do is make them come out of their own space.
Yeah.
But my problem, and Martin, I agree with that. I haven't got a problem with the passing. It's the fact that I don't think we've got the midfield picking the team we do with the energy. Yeah, but we could have still picked Foden. We could have still picked Nunes. I don't think we've got the energy in midfield.
Nobody wanted Nunes, Rick.
Creativity.
Nobody wanted Nunes.
I haven't said
no, you didn't. No, but a lot of the fan base didn't want Nunes anywhere near their team.
We have to just get some youth, some energy, some physicality into midfield. I remember years ago we used to have it, and I'm trying to think what the midfield was now. I think it was 3 world-class players and younger. I think it was it Gundo, Silva, and Rodri for a time that just didn't work as a midfield, even though
Ellie, I love you, but you're not getting that in January. Trust me, you're not splashing 350 million, Jan. So,
and I think Isaac would be. He'd be useless. He's a player who needs space, even far more than Haaland. If he's playing against the low block, he'll do nothing. We need players like Bob, Foden, who can do something magic against the low block. McAtee, possibly. He needs to be given a chance. I just think he hasn't had a chance, so we don't really know on McAtee.
I will say this to Rich. The people that are leaving at half time because they're bored of the way City play. If I'm not mistaken, yesterday we scored after 3 minutes and the opposition didn't even come out. They stayed in a low block. Did they or did they not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Most teams at the Etihad do exactly the same. They try and low block it. It becomes a bit boring. I agree with you, but that's not our fault if they're doing that. If they're staying in a low block, that's not Man City's fault. And if the fans want 90s football, well, it's dead easy. Leave, go to Gig Lane, go to Wesley Park at Stockport, go to Banbury Park at Oldham. Go and watch them. Go and watch Ratcliffe Borough. We don't want you. Dead simple. Because when we went down to Division 2, as much as it was good fun as a fan point of view, I fucking hated it down there.
Hang on. No. Alan, I agree with everything you've just said. But 25 minutes ago, you said something completely different and was going into meltdown because of Pep Guardiola leaving and no players are joining.
No, mate. I'm worried about players being attracted to the club.
You flip-flopped in 20 minutes.
No, well, I'm telling fans who prefer the 90s, and we've got a few here, mate, that want the 90s, right? And I'll just say, well, see you later. Bye. Bye.
Does anyone come for a fight tonight? Have I missed something? What's up with everyone tonight?
No, to say bye, see ya. We don't want you.
Yeah, I don't get
I far prefer what we've got right now. Thank you very much. And even Mancunian and Pellegrini years.
You told me it was boring last night, Alan.
It was. I was first half. At the end of the first half, I was bored because the opposition didn't come out. They didn't have a go. They only started to have a go when they went 2-0 down, which is true. And they gave us more space to play, and we destroyed them.
The game is boring, but people are saying you said last night City are boring. We've got to up the tempo.
Yeah, they were playing too slow. Second half, they didn't. They played well.
The trouble is, it's hard to.
Don't look at me like that. You just criticised me. You just criticised. Hang on. He's dragging it out of me. He's saying, why do I have a straw? Well, you just criticised me when I live 10,500 miles away, like Patrick, like Richard, and saying, you don't go. What am I supposed to do when I live on the other side of the world?
Alan, that's fine. But Rich isn't...
Alan,
don't you tell me I can't criticise and have an opinion when I don't go.
Alan, you can't have a go at fans saying no, who go to games. No, you can't. Even Rich says that. People who don't go to games can't criticise people who go to games. Go and do something about it. That's like me having to go at United's atmosphere when I don't bloody go.
You can have a go at United.
You can have a go at United.
I never said anything about having a go at United.
That's banter. Yeah. You mean to tell me you don't go down the pub on a Friday night and see United mates and give them some shit?
Right, because I can see and I apologise to people in the comments because for some reason, Alan, you want to do this live on air. But one thing, Alan.
No, I want a bit of banter.
I have no problem with you. I don't have a go at you for not going to the games. I banter you for that. But what I got irked with is you called people in Manchester weak. That's what I didn't like. You've no right to say that. People put their hand in their pocket last night and paid 40 quid to go. You can't then call them people weak.
Which is way too expensive too.
Come on, Alan. There's a way.
If that fixture was before COVID, Alan, that would have been 20 quid.
You can't do
less than 20 quid. It would have been less than 20 quid.
Mate, with all due respect, the City don't. It's not City that announced the prices. It's UEFA.
Yeah,
which is true, isn't it? For Champions League games, it's UEFA that set the prices,
which makes that situation even more difficult. Which is why I think everybody should just put two fingers in their ears, and anybody who talks about the empty seats nonsense online, it's just put two fingers in your ears and just whatever. Because every major football club in the UK is dealing with that right now.
Jose, give us your opinion before I do it. I just need to, because DB is on fire here. He's renewed his membership for an 8th month, and then absolutely threw in 20 gifted memberships. So absolutely big up to DB. You are an absolute superstar. I really appreciate that, mate. And as always,
more than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
And before we do bring Ozzy and Pine, MCFC, thank you so much for your kind generosity again. Good evening, Martin. We've seen the links to Jokeris. If Haaland leaves, Haaland's going nowhere. I'd ignore that, Jokeris. Also, any January DM update? Not at the moment. Should we worry about Amorim and Alonso being unavailable by 2026 when Pep leaves? Amorim, sporting out, trying to time down on a new contract. Alonso is out of contract in 2026 as well. So we'll see. But yeah, we shall see. Go on, Alza. What do you think? Are we playing boring football for you?
Again, going to Rich's kind of comment, I have to agree that the problem, I think we all agree with this, is that when teams are playing such a low block, it's difficult for us to break it down. Where I agree with Rich as well is that our midfield is not the pace. That midfield, since Rodri, and KDB have been out, hasn't been good enough. Gundo hasn't hit the ground running since he's been back, and I said before he signed the contract, this is something that worried me, that if he was overplayed and we ever had to rely on him because of an injury, this is what we would get. Pep still hasn't sorted out the situation with a Rodri replacement, or a situation as in how we deal with that Rodri. And again, like Richard, pace, I think when you look at the bench and you look at our squad, Pep's just has got to take that gamble of putting like the likes of Nunes in, like he did last night, starting Phil, and if need be, you completely think revamp that midfield and maybe look at putting Grealish in midfield, because the other thing that worries me is that when you look at it, we've only got really 3 players that more often than not will put the ball in the back of the net: Haaland, Foden, and KDB. Now,
Grealish might be a good call, Ozzy, because he draws so many fouls and he goes both ways, etc. That him being there instead of Gundo or Bernardo on the edge of the box gives defenders something different, and that could win us a lot of free kicks.
And that's what I'm thinking, because at the end of the day, we need to think about other ways of putting the ball in the back of the net, because the only other player that's been on top form since the end of last season, the beginning of this season, is Guardiola as well. Who's hit some absolute crackers from outside the box. We've had to rely on shots from outside the box. Am I right? We've got the highest goal score from outside the box.
I think we've got nearly half of them in the Premier League. We've got like 7 of 25 or 8 of 25 or something.
Yeah. So I mean, we are finding ways, but the problem is that I don't think we've got that fully covered yet. I don't think we've fully sorted that out. And I just think because at the moment we haven't got the players, like Doku and Savio are great players, but neither one of them has really contributed to putting the ball in the back of the net. So you've got to look at it and you've got to think of other ways. And for me, that is sorting that midfield out, and that has to be the top priority.
Pep
I'm sorry.
Did he? What did he say?
Pep talked about it last night in terms of, I'm just going to get the quotes up now, talking about the, and I've said this before and everyone laughed at that. I'm just trying to get the quotes up from last night, what he said. It talks about the wingers, the balls into the box. Here it is. Pep Guardiola. When we cross, we have Erling Haaland, but the rest, ? Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, they make small gestures. It's like my son. It's difficult. We don't have Peter Crouch. Otherwise, we would use it a lot more. That is just the reality of it.
It's like I said, teams are sitting back.
I've always said that. No, but I've always said we're not the team of giants. The midfield is small. Sabio is small. Doku is small. Foden is not the biggest. You can spam crosses all day long when there's only one 6-foot guy in there.
And he's going to be marked heavily.
Exactly. So this is what I'm not getting about this. I know people. Do you know what it is? And I've said this all day long, and I saw it a lot yesterday. Pat, I'm going to bring you in here. If I hear 17-18 one more time, if I read 17-18 again, I'm going to scream. So everyone's going to spam in the chats now, 17-18. But you know what I mean? All I hear is, I want 17-18 season. That was when we had Sterling, we had Sane, we had Jesus, we had Aguero, we had it all. We had prime David Silva, KDB, who was 20-odd years, very different.
And we didn't often play against 2 banks of 5. I mean, that's the reality. Yeah, we never had to play, and no one in Europe that I see, no one has to play against 2 banks of 5 like City did. So we just got to figure out a way to deal with it more, which means, you've either got to have players with the close control to be able to dribble through it. You've got to have players who are going to pick you off regular free kicks. But we do need something a little bit different. And I think the midfield, that conservatism is we just lack a bit of creativity. And, you know, Silva and De Bruyne in their prime would be offering balls into the box and little passes and stuff that at the moment, you know, Gundo and Bernardo and Kovacic can't. And
Bernardo's never been a creator. Can we
he's never been a goal scorer.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. But if we pick 3 players in midfield, none of whom
he's not been able to. No, this is my point. Pat's we're going to bring Pat in here. Is Foden's had issues. You might not know this. They played a tribute video out to Foden last night before the game.
Yeah, but Nunez, McAtee, and for most of it, Grealish.
He's not going to play McAtee, Rich.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's being conservative. He's playing.
So you want to go? You want to play in the Premier League and roll out McAtee?
I would
Yes.
Honestly, this Saturday, if I was before the game, Pep's put Bernardo, Gundo, and Kovacic in, I would swap McAtee in for one of those 3.
Right, I want to try and get Pat. I've tried Pat 3 times and everyone just jumps in ahead of Pat.
Go on, Pat.
You all right, gentlemen? Sure. Any last thoughts? No. Look, I think in terms of this conservative football, I mean, there's so many different, you know, sub views or, you know, alternate opinions that we all have on what we think is great football, winning football, exciting football. You know, how much do you lean on being entertained as much as you lean on wanting to win and things like that? And, you know, I think we can get the usual out of the way. When rivals call it boring, it's because it's usually the self-entitled fan bases that are angry that we're taking away the trophies that they used to win for generations on end. That's fine. They can all get in the bin as far as I'm concerned. But when it comes to the fans themselves saying boring football, I think, you know, I mean, there's so many different things that you can look at too. I mean, we've had this conversation before in previous seasons, I believe, and it's always been in the first half of the season. Boring football, but then we never bloody talk about it once we see armpits in May. We lifted trophies, we don't care. We've won trophies. That's all. That's what matters at the end of the day. Look, I get, you know, the whole why people would be frustrated with the sideways passing or the back passing, and you know, or you know, minutes and minutes on end of basically sideways or backwards passing, and then the second they go forward, we get dispossessed, and everybody's sitting on the edge of their seat, terrified if we're going to get a counter attack. That's how it is. That's what's going to happen if you're not quite on your game and you are going to play that type of football. You have to accept that. You have to face facts. In terms of the 17-18 football, the reason why we were able to do what we did that year was because, again, it was Pep's second season, and we had the best part of 4 or 5 new signings come through the door, completely changed the way that we played that, completely changed the way we play football compared to the first season. You can't repeat. History can't repeat itself again. I mean, it can in terms of the trophies you win, but it can't repeat itself in terms of how you play the game. We go in with Centurion football again, with similar style of players, similar style of pattern. They're still going to put 2 banks of 5 behind the ball. You can't avoid it. You can't. You know, you just can't. There's no getting around it whatsoever. That's just how some teams are going to set up, if not most teams are going to set up against us this season. And it's just up to the squad to be patient and for us to just trust, you know, what the players are doing. And I think that's the harsh reality. We have to face the fact that, you know, this conservative style of football is going to be the way it is, because since Pep came in, have we heard anything different about his philosophy of, you know, as long as we're in possession, then the other team can't score. And I'm sorry to say it, but if that's going to be the way it is, then you expect teams to be dropping an anchor and not trying doing everything in their power to stop us getting anywhere close to the goal.
What do you say to the fans that left at half time moaning that it was boring because it was like that? What do you say to them? Because to me, if they don't want to be there, see you later.
Yeah, and I said that. I said that.
And I think the question becomes what I just said before. I said, will you still be saying the same thing when we're lifting the Premier League trophy in May?
Exactly.
You won't. It comes down to when it's not about what these people say, it's when they say it.
Yeah.
They're bored about the football at a time when the football isn't as it isn't as critical as it would. If you're going to be saying something like that in April, May, you're saying that when we're 20 points behind, we've had a terrible season.
Sparta Prague will be now bottom 3 in the Premier League if they were playing in the Premier League. That's a fact. That is a fact. And they.
Well, it's not facts. It's an opinion. We don't know.
We don't know.
I get that, Alan. But at the end of the day, you're in the Champions League for a reason, and you know, let's not forget too. You can call them the dog and duck in Czech if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that everybody forgets they were on the same amount of points as we were before we played them.
Yeah.
No slouches. No slouches. They played decent opposition to get to where they were. So you've got to beat. I know we're flogging a dead horse with this quote, but you got to beat what's in front of you. And one thing's for certain. There's a lot of question marks about the way Southampton's playing, as much as there was question marks about what Sparta Prague was doing leading into this game, or what they were going to do leading into this game. But I can tell you something: both games are going to be difficult. It's just the way in which we approach those games and how we go about them. Southampton could easily go 2 banks of 5 again, and two banks of 5 even when they're 3-0 down. We don't know yet, but that's what these 8 years of Pep have created for opposition sides. I'm afraid.
I've got to go. Say my last word is 17-18. So I just want you to all think about that. Bye.
See you, mate.
Anyway, no. Listen, I understand what people are saying with McAtee. It's quite clear right now McAtee is not going to be trusted in Premier League. He's played 1 minute all season. He's not going to be trusted in the Premier League. He's played 50 minutes in the Champions League, 80 minutes in the Community Shield, and 90 minutes in the EFL. Because the problem is, when you look at his minutes, it says 221 minutes. The problem is 90 minutes of those are Community Shield. So that's a bit of an unfair stat, really. So really, you need to take that Community Shield out. He's only really played 131 minutes. That's it.
I can understand where Rich is coming from, because...
Who are you taking out, though? No. Question. Who comes out for McAtee?
I'm not
he'll
saying
he'll play against Spurs.
Well, yeah, but he's already said that's the B team, Alan. He's made that quite clear. That's the B team.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's not about McAtee starting. I think it's more that you've got to utilise him to come off the bench. Just because we've got 6 injuries at the moment to key players, and you've got to utilise the squad. Like, Nunes has got to be utilised more, because we need pace in that midfield. We need what he can bring, which he's shown last night what he can do when he's given the opportunity. And that's why, for me, he's got to play come the weekend.
What? What? Nunes? Sorry, McAtee and Nunes?
Nunes.
Right. But here's the thing. And Nunes is a great example. Because I'm going to go back. Until last night, a lot of fans didn't want Nunes anywhere near the 11. Let's be honest and let's be straight. There was a handful of people that were saying, give Nunes a go. You won't know until you try. I've seen all the flip-flop today. Oh, give him a go. That was not the case. 2 weeks ago, it was a panic buy. Pep didn't trust him. This, that, and the other. Blah, 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 blah. I can roll on. One of them's down bottom left of me right now. Directly underneath me. It's in a recorded space. It was all said there.
But I don't think necessarily that the likes of Alan was wrong in some respects, because I think we've seen this happen before. With the
my point is, you can't tear a player down for 6 months and then go, oh, yeah, we want you now.
But didn't they do the same thing to Phillips?
No,
but that's football, Martin.
Phillips did jack shit in any game, Alan.
Yeah, but I don't think at the end of the day, when Nunes was given his chances last season, I don't think anyone thought he'd really grab those chances, Martin.
Correct.
Correct.
I disagree with you on that, because we've always said first season, judge him in the second season.
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying to you is that I think I can see where some fans have come from, is what my point is, Martin. I can understand. I'm not saying McAtee should start. I'm saying that you're going to have to utilise him throughout the season, because we've got 6 key injuries right now, and he's going to have to at some point make an entrance. He's going to have to come off the bench. you've got to utilise, because that midfield isn't good enough right now. We can see the problems, and it's about Pep utilising those players and solving the problems we've currently got. And that's what we expect from Pep, because he's a genius. He's a person who can put, a midfielder into the left-back position, because that's just what he can do. And we expect him to utilise the players that he's got, because in the day, he turned around and said McAtee was it part of his plans in the summer. He said, Matty's staying because I want him in the squad. You want him in the squad, then you've got to utilise him. Am I wrong?
But he's not doing.
No, I'm saying, but I know he's not right now, but I'm saying because of the injuries we've got now, we've got to utilise the players.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I do hear it. I'll be honest with you. I mean, McAtee did look very good last night. I think he's looked poor in other appearances when he's played. Watford, I don't think he took his chance. I know what you're saying about midfield, but what do we mean by bad? This is what I'm trying to establish, because Phil Foden has been off form. We know why. Phil Foden looked back to his best last night. So if you have Phil Foden in that 10 role, yeah.
Scoring that goal helps.
But it's not just that, Alan. It's not just about that. You know why? I'm not going to go into it on here.
Yeah, I know.
I know, but I mean, you ask questions that we can't answer live on air, Alan. You've got Foden at 10, and you're going to have Kovacic and Nunes. That's only one change in the midfield, the Nunes or Gundogan out.
Yeah, maybe that's all it takes sometimes, Martin. He's
no, my argument is the McAtee thing. I don't see McAtee ever getting in when KDB's fit again, because you're back to KDB and Foden.
Yeah, but we don't know when KDB's coming back, Martin. And as Pat said last night, I think he's going to be brought back in when he's completely fully fit, and then again his minutes are going to be managed.
It has to. He can't be playing every single game. KDB, not his age now. Sorry, he gets too many injuries.
So again, it is utilising the squad. Like I said, if we're just going to make that one change come the weekend where it's Nunes in midfield, I'm happy with that. And then if Maxey comes off the bench, after we're 2-3-0 up, after half time, then that's what happens.
Yep, correct. I think we just have to accept that KDB now can't play every single game, because if he picks injuries up, he's out for a while with those injuries, and it has to be his last year this year.
Well, there are rumours it's his last year, but who knows?
Can't go on forever, can they?
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Don't go down the road of Pep. Don't go around the road of Pep.
No. See, yeah, I know what you're saying. He'll use him in the lesser games, Nick, the Carabao Cup, 10 minutes. I don't see him starting in the Premier League anytime soon. He's not going to start ahead of Foden right now. Bernardo is his golden boy. He's not going to drop Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva very rarely gets dropped anytime. So I know people say Ilkay Gundogan, I agree, he's probably playing more than what he should. But by the way, what you doing with Rico Lewis? This is what I'm saying. If you're going to play Rico and Maxi, you basically what I know what will happen. We get beat. Always playing too many kids. We'll rock
this
out.
This is what I was going to say. Well, I think McAtee, in terms of the entire squad, I think McAtee is the most knife edge player that you can possibly throw out there, because agreed, all four of us want to see him play. We want to see him get game time. We want to see him flourish. Product of the academy. That's what we all want. But there's such that fine line between where do you start him, where do you play him, to where you know exactly what's going to happen if he misses a shot to give us to give us a lead or to give us a win later on in the game, or he gives the ball away, resulting in us conceding a goal where we drop points or something like that. He's such a knife edge player. And I know we all want to see him, local lad. We all want to see the local lad, the academy graduate. We all want to see him do well. But all of that's going to be irrelevant if he makes a mistake that costs us points. That's the problem that we have. We have to accept facts that he is only going to be a 2-3 goal lead substitution in Premier League matches and the occasional starter in cup matches, pending quality of opposition.
Do you know what it is to me? It sounds harsh. I'm not one of these fans putting him in because he's an academy graduate. Put him in because he's good enough. I don't care if he's an academy graduate. I know that sounds harsh. Just because he's out of our academy doesn't give him the God-given right to waltz into the 11.
Every player has to prove it. Great example of that is Phil Foden. Everyone was saying, before he was given a chance, Pep's got to play him, Pep's got to play him. And Pep played it the best way he did because he gradually brought him into the squad. And even today, sometimes I don't think he's guaranteed his spot. Regardless of if he's come from the academy or not, every player out there has to prove themselves.
Yeah, I'm McAtee will get that chance against Spurs next week. Let's see. The problem you've got is Nunes played well against Watford in the cup and then still didn't get a chance. Nunes had to wait for 2 left wingers to be injured to get the chance. Nunes, for me, I don't think Nunes, if Grealish or Doku had been fit last night, I'm not 100% sure Nunes goes in. I think it was just a happy coincidence. But now he's performed. So now we'll see. If he doesn't start Nunes Saturday, then we know he has his set mind of where he wants to go. If he starts him, fine, not a problem. Brilliant. But the truth, it's so difficult because Kovacic hasn't played bad at all this season. This is the problem. Gundogan is the only one, maybe question marks at the minute. But I don't see him dropping Gundogan a lot because he moved heaven and earth to get him back.
Yeah, but I think even Pep has to be realistic, Martin. He can, if it's obvious to us that Gundo is not performing well enough right now, it's got to be blindly obvious to Pep as well. Pep has got to make decisions.
I think it's an 8. I agree. He's poor. I think it's a 6. I think he was fine.
But you still need the legs, Martin. You talk about a 34-year-old player.
I don't think
playing with every game.
Yeah, I sort of agree with Ozzy on this one. I don't think he was brought back to play 90 minutes every single game. I thought he was brought back to play 20 minutes here and there.
Yeah, but then Rodri got injured.
I know, but he's 34, mate.
I'll be honest with you, Nick. I don't think McAtee starts on Saturday. And I agree with you. It is probably going to be sad.
I thought McAtee did quite well when he came on today, but we were playing against a championship team.
So are you putting Phil Foden on the bench for McAtee on Saturday?
No, Phil Foden must. He's now played well. He now seems to be getting back up to speed.
Right, that's it then. So McAtee can't go in.
Well, why not? They had both of them on the pitches today.
To put him where? So who are you dropping for McAtee?
At the moment, Gundo.
Gundo plays number 6. Can't put McAtee as a number 6.
Says who?
Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? What I'm dealing with? He's chucking him into a position he doesn't even play just to get him on.
To me,
put Edison in midfield, Alan.
Eh?
Put Edison in midfield. Come on, Alan. We're going to talk football. Talk it sensibly. Don't just say
there, Martin. I could see Edison in midfield.
I know, but don't say McAtee to CDM, Alan, just to get him in the team. Come on.
All right. Well, mate, I personally, you play Kovacic as CDM
because that's his main role, 6'8", yeah.
You play him there, and you give McAtee a game.
So who would be your midfield then for Southampton?
I play Kovacic as a CDM.
Right.
Yeah. And I Foden on the right side of midfield in central. And I would play McAtee on the other side of it.
Right. So you drop Bernardo.
Yeah.
And you drop Nunes, who was man of the match.
He's playing him on the left-hand side at the moment. And apparently, Grealish and Doku are not fit.
So Bernardo and Gundo drop to the bench for you.
Yeah. Gundo needs a rest. And he does. I think everyone agrees.
No, that is suicide for me, Nick. That's suicide, putting Foden on the wing. Biggest waste going.
I never said the wing. I never said
you. Sorry, Nick. I disagree with that.
Comment out. God's sake.
He's a number 10, mate, all day. It's a waste putting Foden on. You just wasted him. He won Player of the Year as a number 10. I don't ever want to see Foden on the right. I think it's the biggest waste of a talent doing that for him. Yeah. But that's my opinion. I understand people want to get I get it. The people want to get McAtee in because it's a youngster and it's fresh and it's academy and let's go. And I get it. But I'm going to be straight. You're not going to like this. He played very well in 25 minutes last night. But against Watford, he was poor. Community Shield, I can't count. Because to me, that's a overhyped bloody friendly. That's just my opinion, though. Just my opinion. But it's a weird one because I'm just looking at the minutes here. Nathan Aké's only played 77 minutes due to injury, we know of. You've got Matheus Nunes only played 322. McAtee's at 131 if you're just continuing the thing. I suppose it depends what he wants to do.
I agree with what Andy's put. Like, you know, this season for McAtee's education, you've got to learn.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well put.
Yeah. Starting every week for Sheffield United is a lot different to where your position is in the squad at Manchester City, I'm afraid. Look, yeah. I think we're just missing what's to come over the next week or so because we've got Spurs away in the cup. I don't think McAtee sees a single blade of grass on this sees a single blade of grass in this game against Southampton. Yes, it is Gundogan's birthday today. Happy birthday. I don't think he sees a single blade of grass on Saturday. I think he's going to start against Spurs. Because looking at fixtures, I think both teams are going to play a weakened squad midweek against Spurs because they've got to play Villa next weekend. So I think it's a good chance for both teams to play a bit more academy based, a bit younger, a bit more slightly inexperienced. We all want McAtee to play, but we're on such a knife edge at the moment, given the injuries that we have right now, that we just cannot afford to make mistakes. Because again, all our love for the academy graduates will go out the door if we lose or if we drop points against Southampton because we started McAtee. We can't take that risk. It's not the right thing to do.
Especially
the wins are what progresses. The wins are what progresses us through the league table, and then it's the performances that get us over the line in the second half of the season. We can't be doubling in academy players and allowing senior players to sit on the bench when you know that they can still play 90 minutes before they truly need to be rested. So, looking at this week, I was like, I'm maybe if there was going to be a change, I'd have maybe Kovacic in for Gundogan, possibly just because Gundogan has played quite a few minutes over the last few weeks. That's all I could basically say. And given the way that we played against Prague, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm quite happy with similar, if not the exact same lineup to go in again, with maybe one change, maybe two changes. That's about it, really. I'm quite happy with what we put on the field this week.
I'm sorry, I'm going to sound happy clappy and City admin chill again. I'm sorry, but we're not doing bad for a team that's having a shit midfield, is it?
Yeah. Yep.
Have we lost a game yet?
Nope.
Maybe it's me. If this is us bad, Jesus, don't want to see us good, Dad.
We're still in pre-season mode, mate.
I'm not trying to be a shill here. I'm not trying to be happy clappy, but
we have the longest pre-season of any club in the world.
I disagree, Martin. Foden is primarily in advanced state. He can play as 10 as well. I disagree with that, Dash. I think it's a 10 all day long. And he's already said he wants to play midfield as a 10. That's where he feels more natural. And right now, I think we need to give Foden that happiness that he needs at the moment for me. I think Foden needs that little bit of happiness in his life. And it's going to sound like, you know, a bit of a thing, but if I can keep Phil Foden with a smile on his face right now, give him that big smile on his face.
I think the pitch is his happy place right now. Let him roam free.
Being on a football pitch is happy for him. I do this, by the way. I mean, we might as well Southampton then. Nunes left, Savio right. That's what I'm doing on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, that could work.
I've got Foden as my 10. This is my thing. I'm not trying to be nice. Right now, even with 6 injuries, I'm struggling to get McAtee into my 11. And I like McAtee. But I think McAtee is where Foden and Rico were at the very beginning of their careers. Mm-hmm. It's just sad because he's not 17, he's 22.
Lewis is still not broken into the first team properly, Martin. Like, he's still, like, you know, you have to look at last season, the season before last, that he was getting lots of games. Then last season, you hardly saw him, you know, and we're only just seeing spits and spats of him this season. So, again, he's still having an education of learning how to be in this team. You know, because I think more than likely not, when Walker's back fit and he's ready to play, Walker starts.
Yeah. I mean, I will be honest with you. I thought Rico was excellent last night. I thought he went back to his best. Thought he'd had a rough 2 or 3 weeks where you could see the youngster in him a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is why it makes me laugh, because even with 6 injuries.
And I hadn't got picked yet playing for Australia. It was Gilly, actually. Yeah. I heard Gilly tell us.
That's Pat or Alan.
No, that's
Alan, because that was an Australian commentary.
Yeah.
It's Alan.
He's been rumbled.
Alan. You know, that's my thing, though. Midfield is the area we have got options. Midfielder is the area we have options, actually.
People forget we have the most versatile squad in the league.
I remember doing it at the start of the season. We had 10 midfielders,
including Edison.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't including Edison. But we'll do 11.
He could. I mean, he could. We all want to see that one day. We all want to see that.
Before
we are sort of, and also don't forget, he inverts Stones. He inverts Rico.
Can just
we're missing something. Remember a few weeks ago, Martin, we played Rico and Stones in the same lineup, and we all went mad because it was like they didn't know who was getting. It was like they were having a continuous battle with each other about who was inverting with who. What did we have last night? We had Rico and Stones.
One sec. What's going on with YouTube? Who's blocking people? Something going on with YouTube, because someone said YouTube's blocking people. Blocking who?
What?
Who's it blocking?
What?
No idea, mate. I'm not seeing anything.
Can someone let me know there's something going on? So put YouTube blocking people. Right, no worries. I'll just keep it. I know YouTube has been weird at the minute. McAtee's had a year of senior football in the Prem. Did he or didn't he, though, Andrew? Don't look at Sheffield United the same as Manchester City. We're not Sheffield United. And also, Andrew, he only played 50% of those games. He wasn't starting games by the end.
And he shot himself in the foot by playing for Sheffield United 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, he was coming off the bench for Sheffield United. He wasn't starting. And I want McAtee to make it. I'm just, again, I'm going to make this point. You've got Echeverri coming in January. And the club at the moment is staying. That's what the club are saying. He's going to stay. And Oscar Bob's back in January. And if you want to buy Wirtz and Musiala, where's McAtee going in all this? This is what I'm saying. You can't go, I want ABC of the superstars, but I want my youth in. I don't know which way we're going to go with that one. It's a weird one, which we're going to talk about last week. We're going to talk about next week, because this is where fans are going to have to make either come to grips with some things or realise, unless they're very, very special with our EDS, they're not going to make it. Morgan Rogers didn't make it. He's now at Aston Villa tearing it up. Palmer at City at the time did not make it. Lavia, who is now in the Chelsea midfield, did not make it. We can go through and through and through. Little tidbit for you all. The other thing is, there's talk of Callum Doyle coming back for next season. Maybe January, but if not, next season. So maybe they don't buy a left back. This is what I'm saying. You can't have. You either go with a full EDS and sack off your superstar signings, or you have to accept you're going to lose some of the EDS out. We said this 3 years ago. You can't have both. No team has. Why do you think none of the youth come out of Real Madrid? Barca do it because they have no choice. But that's the point. Yeah, because, he wants first team football. You're not going to get it at City. It's where you're at.
I think where some people probably lies, they don't want to see another Palmer situation where we let him go
I do think
and he tears it up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's PTSD.
I think there really is. I don't think any of us truly saw Palmer becoming the player that he is today. We all knew he had talent. We all knew that he could do a job. But I don't think anybody thought he would go on and have, the seasons that he's been having at Chelsea. And I think a lot of City fans, we're reaping what we sow, because we have created an amazing academy. We're churning out superstar, academy players that, as you're right, Martin, they're not all going to make it, because that's just not the model we have. We have a similar model to what Chelsea did, where Chelsea did exactly the same thing, where they built up their academy, they got loads of brilliant players, and only some of them made it to the first team squad. The rest went out. You only have to look at KDB and Mo Salah as two prime examples where Chelsea let 2 players go and they came back to haunt them. And we're experiencing that now with Palmer. It is what it is.
Here's the question for you, Alan. City have a choice of McAtee or Wirtz. To buy Wirtz, McAtee has to go. Would you be happy with that, Alan?
No.
So do you see the problem?
I see the problem, but a lot of it will be defined by what happens when this result comes out.
Stop! No! We're not doing it.
It's true.
Oh, no, it's not, because Erling
It
Haaland
is.
Pension. Pep wouldn't agree to stay if we were going down to the Division 2, Alan.
I know he wouldn't. He'd go.
Well, they go then.
They'd all go. They'd all go.
They're going to stay. They're all going to stay. So move on. Let's forget the 115. Jesus, you speaking of PTSD, you've got it.
We all know what's going to happen. If we're found not guilty, Alan's going to be on the screen, now. Absolutely screaming through his mic, saying, "I told you so! I told you so!" Never doubted it. Never doubted it. It's like, we know exactly what you got to do, mate. I'll have another bingo card. I'll have another bingo card out. This one will have 24 blocks on it, mate, and we'll get tic-tac-toe in the first 5 minutes.
I'll swear loudly for about 10-minute rant at every club in the Premier League and call them what I think about them, especially Tottenham.
Mark Fogg, thank you for gifting 10 memberships, mate. You are superstars every week. You honestly, mate. Well, thank you so much for your kind generosity. And Luke, not in my lifetime podcast. Get over there, give the lads a lot of support. Alex, Luke, and the gang has renewed his membership for a 4th month. Thank you, mate. You have made Pat very happy.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Martin, I'm going to have to go, mate.
What's that?
I've got.
Say again.
I've got to go work.
Say again.
I've got to work. I'll speak to you later. See you later,
man. I'm starting to like
it. See ya.
You know what? That is the best Alan shut up I've ever now come up with. That is staying. Anytime Alan has a viewpoint, that's going on the screen. It's annoying. What's annoying? Leave it alone, Kane. It's fun.
I used to talk about Alan.
Honestly, get Alan off yours. Listen, Alan is a warrior. Rich and Alan over the last few weeks have become a bit
warrior, not warrior. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they've become warriors, Rich and Alan. I don't know why. They've just gone a bit worrying lately. But I think Rich needs Christmas. When Rich hits Christmas, he'll come back in a happy, clappy mood. Alan, I can't do anything about. We apologise for Alan, but he is entitled to his opinion as well. Even though you might not agree with it, he is entitled to his opinion. So let's be respectful.
I think we're gonna have to put that disclaimer in. We're gonna have to put that disclaimer in the channel.
We really are, Martin.
Just a default
before and after every show. That just has to be in red block letters.
Yeah, I've just read it's on Twitter. Apparently, YouTube is having a nightmare tonight. So I do apologise to people who are struggling. Yeah. So I do apologise. Yeah, it is what it is. Right. But yeah, no, I hear what people say. Listen, I wish McAtee does make it, and I hope he does. I'm just saying that I wouldn't throw him in right now. Tottenham, I will be there. I can't wait to see him. My internet is dying a death again. I apologise. I am so going to go back to Virgin Media. Do you know when this has happened? Do you remember the power cut we had for 5 hours, 6 hours? So it's been since then. So I do apologise. Right. Southampton. They've played very open football. They do play a little expansive. They are currently stuck at 1 point. They've not had a very good start to the season. They're second bottom. So I've gone, Pat. Ozzy, 9-0.
Far from it.
We're going 9-0.
But I do expect a Nunes hat trick.
12-0. 15-0.
I'm not as optimistic as you are, Martin. Let's put it that way.
15-0. 15-0. 15-0. It's only the Dog and Saints. Sorry, Dog and Southampton. But FIFA's jumped in. Yeah, 9-0. I knew I could bait someone out. Andrew's gone 4-0. Look, everyone's just gone straight to 4-0.
I like it how most people think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I mean, we haven't kept a clean sheet so far outside of the Champions League. As Martin froze again, Pat.
I'm just resetting my internet.
Okay.
If Martin's worried about Southampton at home, there's something wrong. No, I've always said to you at LB98, and that's not some other LB. I don't fear anyone. I respect every opponent, and I think this is going to be very similar to Wolves.
Yep.
Because I think Southampton will change their whole game plan around Russell. If Russell Martin comes and tries to play out from the back like he has done, he's going to get his ass slapped.
Yeah, which is
that
why
will
I
only
think
work for so long.
Yeah,
because they'll sack him. They'll sack him playing that game.
Yeah, which is why he will change this Saturday. It'll be another low block. It'll be exactly the same as Wolves.
And by the way, Toxic Blue, I'm not saying I want McAtee to do very well. My question was, Toxic Blue, you had a choice of buying Birdsall, Musiala, or none of them and keeping McAtee. Would you do it? And that's because that's the competition McAtee is going to be at. McAtee will eventually want to come in and be the next Foden. But then you don't need to spend 150 mil on a superstar because they're not going to sit behind on a bench for someone out of the academy. That's all I'm going to say. And I will say Hugo Viana is willing to splash the cash. But I hope he does get it. But it's weird. Internet's slow. Martin's internet's slower than our midfield. I don't know what it is. I need to see him sort that out. Right, if Russell Martin's not changing his style of football, then he's going to get sacked LB98. And he's crazy doing that. If he's going to do that, then he'll get his ass smacked at the Etihad. He'll get his ass smacked playing out from the back. You saw Spark when they opened up.
Yeah. Don't they play with a flat back five, though? Don't they play with a flat back five anyway?
Nope. That's why they go 2-0 up in games and get beat 3-2. They play out from the back with the goalie.
I know they play it back from the goal, but what I'm saying is don't they have a flat back five?
No, they tend to play like, how do I put it, like a bit of a B-tep Pep football sort of thing. It's a bit like that. That's why, for some weird reason, you ever notice with Southampton, they're like Everton, they go 2-0 up in a game. They were coasted against Leicester City and got pegged back 3-2.
Red card didn't help either, but either way, they would have been under the cosh for that last 20 minutes or whatever.
I don't know what they did. They just
Do you think Harwood Bella starts for them in this game?
Yes.
Because I think if he starts, I think we'll target him. Not as in elbows to the face. I just think he'll probably put on the most pressure.
With respect, Andrew, because he's at Sporting Lisbon, mate. Jack Gordon did a really good piece in The Athletic last week saying he's not a penny pincher. He's someone who've got the money, they'll spend it. If City want a player at 100 million and Cheeky only valued him at 85, Hugo Viana will spend 100. He won't debate over 10, 15 mil. That was by, Jack Gordon did that piece. City thing, but yeah, that's what it is, Andrew. So you got to remember, he's not at Sporting anymore. He's coming to City, very different animal. This is why I don't do the manager debate, because you can't compare the manager where he is now, because that's like saying how many of the Bayer Leverkusen 11 will get in the City 11. 1, maybe 2, maybe at a push, Frimpong and Wirtz. Well, does that make Alonso a shit manager then? There's only 2 of his players getting the City team. You know what I mean? You've got to be careful how you sort of look at it a little bit. It's more of saying how good we are as a football club compared to others. He's in essence being promoted, which you would expect. We don't have the Musiala to play McAtee, but we are going to. To get the Musiala, Andrew, you've got to do that deal. You've already got to be talking now. Haaland got done 6 months beforehand. Declan Rice got done a year beforehand. Big deals don't happen within a month. They take ages to sort out. A long time. Yeah, like Leach put, he's in charge of a team where that's a lot of money. Yeah, I'll try and find it and send it to you, mate. I will try and send it to you. It was done by Jack Gorn. But anyway, have I had a common sense transplant? What does that mean? Oi, come on the show then. Stop being a Billy bullshitter and come on the show. You got the link. You can spare 15 minutes.
Go on, Eddie.
Come on, Andy.
Down.
You've been summoned. Oh, mate.
Literally, if you've got the bollocks, or is your bald head not happening tonight?
Ooh.
Come in. Martin said, Craig said we're getting Sudikoff in John. I've not heard that. I know there were scouts at the Emirates the other night watching him.
That's how you can pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, you know what? I do not want to sign him.
For that reason. We know who your first signing will be.
Mine.
Costa.
No,
But
yeah.
not for that reason.
And everyone, Edison back in goal for you too, Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, no problems with me. You can see Sort, you can put Ortega in midweek, and then Edison will be back for Bournemouth. Yep.
Look, he can't even come on camera.
Because I'm pointing two fingers up to you.
I thought the camera zoomed in on your ass, mate.
No, I've got my knife. I can't come on camera. I've got my knife here.
So go on. Why is it such a shock I'm doing using common sense tonight? Why is it a shock I'm using common sense?
Because it's like an eclipse. It doesn't happen often.
So what am I talking common sense about? Go on.
I don't know whether I've had a really, really long day at work or you're actually talking sense tonight.
So go on, tell me what I'm talking sense about. Because it doesn't happen from you normally.
I don't know. It's just regarding McAtee, people need to listen. For the best will in the world, we all love our club, but there's some fans what just want new toys every week. And when you get a new toy, they question why the old toy's not playing either. McAtee's not ready. And by the way, do I win a mug for the best comment of the night?
Yeah, you do. Andy, just while you're on, because I do want to talk about this, because you made a very big thing of this all week. I want to say a massive thank you to everything you've done for Macy this week, family. No, I know it isn't, mate, but just give me a sec, 'cause I need to say this. It has been amazing what you've done across social media. And I do think you've had a massive push into what's happening on Saturday.
Listen, mate, everybody who's liked the stuff, retweeted the stuff, shared the stuff, they take the credit, not me, mate.
No, but it was you who pushed this right out the door. So I just want to really big up yourself for doing that.
No, mate, it's the
there's not enough people there's not enough kindness in this world anymore, and it needs to be bigged up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit emotional on Saturday for everyone. It will. Did you shake your head then?
No, I was responding to comments. Said, Andy, if you had a cherry. Then someone said, any update on thing? I do know there is talk about Sudikoff.
Is that something you put on a baby's ass when it's
Sudikoff?
No, it's Sudikoff. Not Sudikoff.
Yeah. And I don't know how long you've got, mate.
You're thinking Vicks Vapor Rub.
What do you mean you don't know how long I've got? I'm not that old, you cheeky bastard.
Is that the camera? Or is that what you're seeing? What you're going to see soon?
Is anyone dropping Nunes from Saturday?
Come back to the light.
Anyone dropping Nunes from Saturday?
No, Nunes has got to start. He's earned that right. People
on the left wing.
Yeah. Regardless, mate, I thought he was fantastic last night. And when you play like that, if you dropped him now, rested him, put him on the bench, then his confidence will be so low. So you start him. If he has a shocker, That's down to him because he's got the shirt now.
Yeah, I think Andy's right. I think it is all down to Nunes. I think Pepper's got to give him that chance to start, and then it's down to him to put that on the field.
Agreed, mate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you shoot his confidence now, Martin, you can't rely on him for the rest of the season.
Listen, I have been driving this tram. I've been driving this tram for 6 months. I can't not stop driving it now.
It's not the tram what went through Weatherfield, is it?
No, it's the one that crashed into it. No, I won't say that because people were injured in that one.
Bald Lives Matter. Cheers. Cheers, FIFA.
No updates. Yeah. Listen, DC, I've had to give up on the dream. There is no Kimmich and Jan. That is over.
There is for someone else. Not us.
No, won't be us. Bruno Geni's at Bella. We are not spending 350 million in January. You need to end that one right now, man.
Yeah, here's one for you. Here's one for you.
Go on.
Is available on a free transfer at the turn of the year.
Paul Pogba. I knew you were going to say that.
You could have signed for us, Martin.
Isn't Balotelli still available?
I was hoping Jacko would score against the Rags tonight, though.
Oh, same. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
McAtee started. The thing is, Gundogan's been playing in the 6 the last game. McAtee's not a 6, Nick.
Oh, but by the way, I seen a comment before. Foden is an advanced number 8, not a 10. In that a number 10?
No, something. It's kind of the same thing as a player now.
Listen, leave Foden alone. Let him play. Let him play where he wants, how he wants. Now he's happy and he's got his mojo back.
Definitely.
And like I said, you just seen how much it meant to him last night.
Come on, Martin. Pogba on a free.
Don't, because I had news on that last week.
Martin, Pogba on a free.
I don't want it. I can't tell you Pep doesn't.
Pep does want it.
I can't tell you Pep doesn't want it. It has been talked about in the walls.
Pep wants it. Pep will get it.
Oh. It has been talked about in the walls, apparently.
Well, he's already admitted, hasn't he, Pogba? He was so close to joining us.
It would make no sense to me. It would make no sense to me. I would be baffled as hell, but the trouble is I don't know what goes through that guy's head anymore.
Do you want to know what swayed me a little bit? I've always thought Pogba, absolutely not a effing chance. I've carefully watched quite a lot of his interviews recently. It's quite clear he was unhappy dicking around for 3 years at the Rags. He wanted out. What is he now? About 31? I tell you what, that would be a good backup for Mr. Rodri.
By the way, Toxic came back, guess what? I'm not saying I don't like McAtee. This is what I mean. When you say I don't think he's ready yet, they think you're attacking him. I want McAtee to make it. I'm just saying, City are going to buy players, mate. And then it's up to whether McAtee's happy to play backup, maybe.
DC wants Pogba.
Andy, the problem, though, is if we try and get Popper through the door, it'll happen all over it.
Popper? Who the frick Popper? Popper? Papa don't preach. Pogba.
I've not been.
That's what I said.
Papa then, didn't he? He did say Papa then. I didn't hear things.
Papa. Isn't Papa something you have when you're having a mad week getting grease or something?
Who the fucking hell are you? Who the fucking hell are you? Papa, Papa.
I don't like that, Papa.
It's something you'd have with a curry.
Oh, Papa. No. Right. What would be your midfield for Saturday? Nunes left. Savio right.
Nunes left. Savio right. I would actually let Gundo sit out. Bring Kovacic in.
Yep.
And Foden start. And that's no disrespect to Gundo either. I think I can slowly but surely see Gundo starting to pick pick the pace back up. However, I'd like him to be put on the bench on Saturday just for a rest, not any other reason.
DC says I agree with you, Andy. I want the same midfielders as we did against Prague. Only difference was I just prefer Kovacic over Gundogan. He has played a fair bit.
Seriously, Martin, how long have I been banging on about Nunes, mate? I just think he's not been given the opportunity properly. Now,
it's not if but when it comes to Nunes.
That's what I've been saying, you liar.
Absolute talking out of your rusty tea towel holder.
I've got videos that prove it.
You have been saying it, but Virgin Media has been holding you back. So
yeah, me and Alan have been having arguments about Nunes for about a year.
But Martin, you've been talking like him off Police Academy, don't you? Like,
I'm thinking Hightower. No, I know you're talking
about. I would agree with that. I think the only change I'd make probably from last night is Kovacic in for Gundo back to the bench, and probably Ake out for Gavardio.
Why? Or you could put Guardiola in midfield and put Ake in.
It's not happening, it's not. Pep ain't doing it. I don't know. Pep is not going to put Guardiola into that midfield.
He is. He phoned me before. He told me.
No, he didn't. Lionel's on.
Oh, I know. Pep only phoned you. He don't phone me.
I don't get my info off Pep. Yeah. You know where I get my info anyway.
Elliot, I've just still spat me fucking.
Anyone excited for Christmas? Martin on a roll.
Elliot 62 sleeps for Christmas, mate.
Anyone excited for Christmas? That is a bit of a random one, Elliot. Thinking of Madonna song, Papa Don't Preach. Yeah, would anyone disagree with my 11?
Yeah.
Go on, why?
Because you told me you wanted McAtee instead of Edison.
You know what? He comes in and derails it, doesn't he? Just.
That's what you put in the private chat there, mind.
It's not resolved. But he's happier at the moment, Andrew. Yes. I think he may risk him out. Do you know what? What about this? Maybe he does give Ake another go and gives Gavardio a rest.
Well, Ake needs to get his match fitness up, so I have no problems if he plays back-to-back 90 minutes. I'm okay with that.
I've got some exclusive news, by the way, and I don't mind sharing it on your show. I was going to say it on my show on Sunday. However, I bumped into Pep in Aldi today, and he said that Kimmich will be staying at Bayern Munich. Your dreams over, Martin?
Yeah.
I've been saying that for 2 years, Andy.
Honestly, I can't believe Pep shops in Aldi.
It's where the bargain prices are.
Unbelievable, Jeff. He's been, and he was buying some Christmas puddings for Elliot.
Would bench Gundo as a win is a must. Gundo's not favourite at the moment.
No, he is with me. I'll stand by Gundo. I love him a bit, but I think Southampton, not that I disrespect him, I think more of a Kovacic, because Gundo cannot play every game. I don't believe Gundo rejoined us to knowing that he was going to play every game. Rodri's injury dictated the amount of starts what he's having at the minute.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Nick's
gone. Hit the ground running.
Rico Stones, Akanji Gavardio, Kovacic, Nunes, McAtee, Foden, Haaland, Sabio. Great shout, Andy. Paul Pogba will be fantastic. Any news, ITK Martin?
I've got an exclusive. I was on the phone to Martin earlier, and he told me Pep is definitely signing a new 10-year contract. But it's not.
They haven't spoken yet.
There you go. Exclusive.
Martin Cocktail Bay, wait till tomorrow. Everyone's loving it. I'm going to go for a conservative 3-1 win Saturday. I think it'll be 3-1.
5-1 Southampton.
That's what I was thinking. 3-1.
5-1 Southampton.
Someone's going to say to me, why are you giving Southampton a goal like that?
Yeah, it'll be right at the end.
Earlier.
Martin, we'll be 3-0 up, and they will score in the 75th minute, and you'll miss it.
No, that's what I think anyway. I won't be because I have my other half's not going on Saturday due to having a broken rib. So I'm having someone new sitting with me at the weekend.
Abuse.
Well, let's hope you don't break their rib.
Wife beater.
Oi, no, she fell at work.
That's the story anyway.
Tony's sitting with me on Saturday.
Who?
Tone.
Toad.
Blue Tone.
But he normally stays till the end, so is it going to be a good influence on you?
I always leave 5 minutes. You know what? I'm sorry, you don't start this disability shaming now.
Here we go. Disability. He pulls that card out. Don't forget, we actually got
you see the card?
He actually has a card. He has a card for it.
Yeah,
there you go. Martin Horsfield's access card, which you only give to people with disabilities.
And who've got to thank for that? The likes of us for making sure
the
parking.
Scrap that. I'll scrap that. I'll get rid of that. I need to clip that out. Someone's just got me access card details. It's
all right. They can get it off Pornhub anyway, I believe.
2-1, 3-0, 4-0, 4-1. There's a lot of high scoring here. Don't all come on here on post-match and go with a shit. We only won 1-0. Don't all be giving me that one. Ellis Enrico, Akanji Stones, Gavardio, Kovacic, McAtee. Bloody hell, you and Nick in the McAtee Association party tonight.
That's all. Hang on. Is that? Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 11 players. I'll let you have that one.
Andy, you're more than welcome. Going to sit and speak about formations with the turkey legs. Our mindset is that we must win every game. Even here, someone say we lose tomorrow, it doesn't matter. No, because you're not going to win 38. You're not going to win 38. City are going to lose a game this year, Peter, 1,000%.
I've got a feeling we might win 57-49, you know.
That's rugby.
All right.
That's a hell of a rugby game.
Tony Colin Bell, level 3. Is that? Okay, Cade. Why would I lie about it, Cade? Why would I lie about it, Cade? Where that's come from. Cade.
Yeah, if Tone wears that shirt, he should be in the away section.
Should be section.
Yeah, so you can have a look at Alan, Andy upstairs. Are you going on Saturday, Andy?
Yeah, and I'll stay till the end. We'll stay till the end. We stay till the end.
Elliot, Andy's fucking quality. Tom's definitely sitting with Mark on that one, only because you've been told. Fee, by the way, Fee and Kelster were amazing. And it's great to get some different people on the show. I'm not going to say female because I think that's a little bit derogatory when you say the female perspective. Like it's a big surprise. It's nice to have different people's perspective on things.
Females add quality. That's why I have Anne Marie, the glamorous Anne Marie, on ours.
Because she flashes her tits every week.
Who, Paddy and Stan?
No, you need to go on. You need to go on the podcast on a Sunday housing. Anne-Marie's trying to do stripping.com. Anyway, sorry, not Anne-Marie, Tits McGee. But
that was a bit of a mouthful for you, wasn't it?
That's what Stan said.
I thought you were going to say Tits McAtee. I was like, just let the kid play.
No, honestly, get over to that Trade podcast. It's a laugh and a giggle, honestly.
Denton Dixon, you think this is funny? Fucking hell, you come on ours on a Sunday, mate.
Right, I will say this. Post-match on this weekend, I can't do Saturday. I'm at a Halloween party. As you all know.
Are you the main event?
No, I'm dressing as a Joker.
It's just an event.
Times. So either Pat, Ozzy, or Rich will do the post match Saturday, or we'll do it Sunday night. I will leave it up to Pat and Ozzy and Rich to decide what they want to do. Are you available Saturday, Ozzy?
I'm working, mate.
Right, we're doing the post match on Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen.
Martin, I was going to say, why don't you come on as the Joker? But you do that every stream.
Yeah, the post match for Southampton will be Sunday night. So there you go.
Yeah,
I'm dressing as the Joker. Got my makeup and everything.
Well,
what I want to say,
if you are looks more like a grimace.
If you're going to a Halloween party this weekend or whatever, please be careful. Have a great time. Enjoy it with your children and your family and everything else. If you're doing anything,
and don't be sticking fireworks up your ass.
Yeah, if you're doing anything with fireworks, please be sensible as well. We'll be back now post-match Sunday, so there'll be nothing tomorrow. We will be back. I'll be on LB's tomorrow at 12 p.m. It's LB, where I'm going to rip into him about.
Sorry, I won't see that, mine. Sorry, some of us work.
That's a great Joker laugh, Andy.
Sorry, Martin.
It's the best looking you've been in years, this, because no one can see you.
I nearly said something then, I better not.
You have got a face for radio. Hey. But Andy's used to being in the dark because his wife always turns the lights off out on him. Anyway, someone needs to go our custom. Big one. Yeah, he'll figure that one in a minute. He'll get there. He'll play.
I won't listen to you then. Sorry.
What?
No, that's you, not me.
Connor's 11 minutes. Southampton. He's Edison Walker, Diaz, Stones, Gavardiol, Mids. He's got Gundo in. Nunes, De Bruyne. Don't think you're going to get De Bruyne, mate. Foden on the left.
He's got Gundo in or Gundogan.
So you drop Nunes after that? Whoa, that's harsh. It's an harsh one. Please cook LB. I'm only joking. Listen, me and LB, it's only a bit of banter. Same way Andy comes and ours and banters me. Is the Mrs. Harley Quinn? Yes, she will be. The Mrs. is going dressed as Harley Quinn.
What, the rugby team?
No, not Harley Quinn, you dick. What about Rico? No. Right, anyway. Ozzy, Pat, final thoughts before we shoot?
Let's just keep our winning form going. Don't care how we do it. Let's just keep winning.
Good man. But before we do go, don't forget, you've only got till tomorrow, 7:30, for this magnificent prize by footballprizes.co.uk. It is no longer $7.96. It's now back to £9.95. Just to let you know. So the early bird special offer has ended. It is £9.95 a ticket. There is only 65 tickets available. Up to now, there's only been about 10 tickets sold. So you have a 1 in 10 chance at the moment.
I am a 1 in 10.
Well, it'll be 1 in 11 when you buy one, but yeah.
Hospitality tickets for Southampton this weekend. So you must be available to travel to Manchester or be in Manchester this weekend for this prize.
Hey, Martin, I've got Lionel Richie tickets.
I apologise to our sponsors.
Sorry.
A rude interruption. Do you know? But you can also win with a chance of 15 instant win prizes, including the Aces 4th shirt, which were presented to you in a Noel Gallagher box. Get over to footballprizes.co.uk/products/Pep. So there you go. So 7:30 tomorrow, and the draw is at 8:30. So there you go. What a prize that is from footballprizes.co.uk. It is UK.
I would like to be Noel Gallagher's box, though. That's for sure.
But don't forget, by the way, football, Andy SavageOnlineStores.co.uk for all your football, amazing stuff. Where even the postman takes the piss out of him down, writes 115 on his stuff.
Fucking bastards, aren't they?
So, yeah. Ozzy, final thoughts, mate?
It would be nice to keep a clean sheet. That's what I've got to say.
Not one last night. You want 2 in a week?
No,
greedy bastard.
Greedy bastard. 2 in a week.
Hey, bastard. I haven't gone for 3, 4, 5, 20-0.
What, you haven't gone to 3, 4, 5, 20 games? We understand.
No, he's not Alan.
No, they'll do an Alan and go off in a huff. I can't believe Alan. You should have seen it earlier, Andy. I'll tell you off there. Alan had a huff.
He was a grumpy bum.
Not like him.
He slagged off fans in Manchester.
Yes, it was very out of character. It was very out of character.
We called him out, and then he was the one who went on the paddy. What are you doing? No, but honestly, a massive thank you to everyone. Please hit that thumbs up. We are so close.
You didn't ask me my thoughts.
Sorry, you're because you're not on camera. I didn't see you.
I can see your thoughts right now, Andy.
Yeah, plain to see.
Well, what's your final thoughts?
Maybe because I'm not on camera because I'm not important enough. My final thoughts is never argue with an idiot. They'll bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. Have a great week, all.
There you go. We are 1 subscriber away from 4,500 subscribers. So can you be the one?
Go on, I'll subscribe to you.
Andy.
Go on, I've subscribed to you.
Gee, was it, Andy?
Cheeky bastard. I can tell he hasn't because I'm still at 4499. I've got a like.
No, because someone's unsubscribed.
4498. But it's going down. You're going the wrong way. Yay! Yay! We got it. 4.5. Thank you to the ones who have subscribed. Someone's just literally someone's subscribed when they didn't know they were bastards. Yeah, we are literally 500 away from 5K. And don't forget, at 5K, 2 Manchester City home tickets at your availability and a brand new City shirt will go to you.
Whatever season that he reaches 5K.
And don't forget, next Thursday, 2 hours, we are literally, has it just gone down? Someone just unsubscribed. That's
going down, going down, going down.
I don't celebrate anything like that until it goes up. Oh, no, it's gone to 4501. It's going up. It'll go back down again. This is what you
moving on.
We're going down. We're going down.
We're going down.
Marty's going down with 5K in the bank.
I won't mind it. I'll go down with 5K in the bank. It's been a long time since 5K was in my bank. Anyway, next Thursday, yeah. Honestly, you got a week to think about all this. But we're literally going to put the squad up, the contract lengths, everything up, and we're literally going to plan the next 2 years of Manchester City Football Club. Because trust me now, we did it last night, and it turned into World War III.
And I know this is very, very factful because I bumped into Viana in Lidl on Wednesday, and he supplied the info.
No, do you know why it was interesting? Because we were like, does KDB get a year or does he go now? Does he do this? Does he go now? Do you sell KDB and Bernardo in the same window? Do you let Walker go? And this player, and this is where it become, and literally, but we're getting rid of 3 homegrown players. So you've got to bring in 2 homegrown. And it literally turned, it was really, really good debate. It was amazing.
Was that a mass debate?
We need to do this on camera and get everyone involved.
No, you don't.
We really don't.
What?
Sorry, Matt. You just walked right into that one.
Not everyone is on camera.
YouTube unsubscribe, you'll check yourselves. Happens a lot, yeah. Anyway, no, thank you so much to everyone. That is a euphemism, Martin. I missed
just don't tell everyone you came on camera.
Having a mass debate.
What you and DT get up to in your personal time is up to you, Pat. You're not on the clock. Cheers, Andrew. And you know, DC knows I'm only joking. I love you, DC. More than Pat does. Pat cheats on you every week. Poor devil. smutty mind.
You think Martin brought me on for my analysis?
Right now, I don't know who the fucking hell comes on for the football analysis anymore. Because we've got Poppy up there, we've got Papa up there, you down there. Alan's having a fucking off because people don't go to games. Andy comes on with no camera talking about coming. I don't know what's going on anymore.
You've not brought me on for the analysis. You brought me on for my fucking paralysis.
Rich and bloody Alan have become miserable bastards. You know, the grumpy old men. That's what those two have become.
Grumpy old Manx.
My ass, DC. My ass.
That should be the next show.
Night all. Take care, Faye. Pat will be in touch with you soon when he can be asked. You know what I mean?
I messaged you during the week.
Oh, are you in negotiations?
I didn't think you could. I don't know.
I said, thanks for being on the show. Apologies I couldn't make it. I will be getting in touch with you over the coming weeks once all this stuff has worked.
Sorry?
He's just thrown something at the camera. He's messaging other women.
In regards to merch, I'll be reaching out to you in the coming weeks.
Is that what it called?
I want Patrick to LB. It's fine. LB.
I don't know. Apparently, no. I'm not on every LB show.
Are you on it tomorrow?
Hey,
have you been drafted in because Tom can't make it?
I don't know yet. I'll probably hear more. I'll probably hear more in the next what?
What do you mean they have become grumpy bastards?
I'm too out of control to go on that road.
Luke got annoyed because we were talking all that. Alan's season ticket at the Imperial a Wednesday night, 50 quid, 8 p.m. on a school night. Listen, no, I have no problem with anyone who's abroad and can't. My only issue is don't be slagging off people who go to games about atmosphere when you don't go yourself.
Oh, you've changed your tune. You told me you don't like overseas fans.
You lying bastard. Anyway, no, thank you all. We'll see you very, very shortly. We'll see you Sunday night. I'll see you all tomorrow. You are all amazing. We're not talking about Bungle, Zippy, or George. Take care. We'll see you on the next one. And big up everyone.
Be careful out there.